Welcome to the Book MBA channel. Today we're cracking open a book that's less about spreadsheets and more about your mind. Morgan Housel's brilliant, The Psychology of Money. This isn't your typical dry finance book. It's a fascinating journey into the hidden forces that shape our financial lives. So settle in, because what you're about to hear will fundamentally change the way you think about wealth, risk, and happiness. Chapter 1. No one's crazy. Housel kicks things off by telling us that everyone's financial decisions make sense to them. Your parents' view on saving, your friends' aggressive investing, your neighbor's cautious approach, it's all shaped by their unique experiences, especially when they were young. If you grew up in a recession, frugality might be etched into your DNA. If you saw rapid growth, you might be more comfortable with risk. There's no single right way to handle money, just different perspectives born from different economic realities. This chapter is a powerful reminder to judge less and understand more when it comes to financial choices, both our own and others. Chapter 2. Luck and Risk. Here's a humbling truth. Luck plays a far bigger role in success and failure than we often admit. Think about Bill Gates, brilliant, yes, but also incredibly lucky to be in the right place at the right time when computing was taking off. Conversely, sometimes smart people fail due to pure bad luck. Housel argues that extreme outcomes, whether phenomenal success or devastating failure, are often driven by factors beyond individual skill or effort. This isn't to say effort doesn't matter, but it highlights the importance of humility in success and compassion in failure. The takeaway? Focus on what you can control: good decisions, consistent effort, and recognize that the universe will always have its say. Chapter 3. Never Enough. This chapter dives into the dangerous allure of more. We are wired to constantly seek higher achievements, bigger returns, more possessions. But when does it stop? Housel shares the tragic story of Rajat Gupta, a brilliant businessman who had immense wealth but risked it all for even more, ultimately losing everything. The key lesson here is understanding the difference between enough and greedy. Knowing when you have enough to be comfortable, secure, and happy, is one of the most powerful financial skills you can develop. It's about setting boundaries, appreciating what you have, and avoiding the destructive chase for endless accumulation. Chapter 4. Confounding Compounding. We all know compounding is powerful, but Housel illustrates just how powerful it is. He points to Warren Buffett, not as the smartest investor, but as the longest investor. Buffett's astronomical wealth isn't just because he's a genius, it's because he started young and consistently invested for decades, allowing the magic of compounding to work its wonders. This chapter emphasizes the importance of time over talent in wealth creation. The earlier you start, the more patient you are, the more compounding will be your greatest ally. It's about consistency, not intensity. Chapter 5. Getting Wealthy versus Staying Wealthy. This is a critical distinction. Getting wealthy often requires taking risks, being optimistic, and moving fast. But staying wealthy? That demands the opposite: paranoia, humility, and a willingness to be defensive. Housel explains that the world is littered with stories of people who made fortunes only to lose them because they couldn't pivot from accumulation to preservation. Staying wealthy means understanding that past success doesn't guarantee future returns, and that the greatest threats often come from within: overconfidence, impulsiveness, and a lack of humility. Chapter 6. Tails. You win. Think about venture capital. The vast majority of investments fail, but the few massive successes, the tails of the distribution, more than make up for all the losses. Housel applies this to life and investing. A few good decisions, a few fortunate breaks, can dominate the outcomes. This chapter liberates us from the pressure to be right all the time. It suggests that if you aim for enough shots on goal and keep doing sensible things, the occasional big win can make a world of difference. Don't let the fear of small failures stop you from trying for big successes. Chapter 7. Freedom. The ultimate goal of money isn't just to buy things, it's to buy freedom. Freedom to control your time. Freedom to choose your path. Freedom from stress. Housel argues that the highest form of wealth isn't about displaying your riches. It's about the silent, internal benefit of autonomy. This perspective shifts the focus from external validation to internal peace. When you optimize your financial life for freedom, you often find true contentment, irrespective of how much money you actually have. Chapter 8. Man in the Car Paradox. We often think that if we buy a fancy car, people will admire us. But Housel points out the paradox. When someone sees a nice car, they rarely think, wow, that person is cool. Instead, they think, wow, if I had that car, I would be cool. This highlights the often futile nature of status spending. Trying to impress others with your wealth is a losing game, because people are generally more interested in themselves than in you. True wealth isn't about what others see, it's about what you experience. Chapter 9. Wealth is what you don't see. Following on from the previous chapter, Housel emphasizes that true wealth is often invisible. It's the money you haven't spent, the investments you've allowed to grow, the security you've built behind the scenes. It's not the flashy car or the designer clothes. This chapter encourages us to embrace frugality and delayed gratification. The true power of money lies in its potential, not its immediate consumption. Chapter 10. Save Money. This chapter is a direct call to action. Saving isn't just about having money for a rainy day. It's about building flexibility and optionality. You don't need a specific reason to save. Saving itself creates reasons and opportunities. Housel views saving as a hedge against life's uncertainties and a foundation for future aspirations. The more you save, the more choices you have, and the more resilient you become. Chapter 11. Reasonable Rational. In finance, we're often taught to be perfectly rational. Always maximize returns, minimize costs. But Housel argues that being reasonable is far more effective and sustainable. A rational decision might be to aggressively invest every penny, but a reasonable one might be to save a bit more for peace of mind, even if it means slightly lower returns. Reasonable financial behavior is behavior you can stick with for the long term, even when emotions run high. Consistency beats perfection. Chapter 12. Surprise. History is a story of constant change and unexpected events. Recessions, innovations, wars, these surprises fundamentally shape our financial realities. Housel reminds us that relying solely on historical data can be misleading, because the future rarely mirrors the past exactly. This chapter encourages humility about predictions and emphasizes the importance of building a robust financial life that can withstand the inevitable shocks and surprises the world will throw at us. Chapter 13. Room for Error. This is the antidote to predicting the future. Since the future is uncertain, the only sensible approach is to build in a margin of safety, room for error. This means having emergency funds, diversified investments, and avoiding over-leveraging. It's about planning for what could go wrong, not just what you hope will go right. A little pessimism in your planning can lead to much more optimism in your outcomes. Chapter 14. You'll change. Our goals, values, and even our personalities evolve over time. The 20-year-old you is not the 40-year-old you, and the 60-year-old you will be different again. This chapter cautions against making rigid financial plans based on a static view of yourself. Build flexibility into your plans. Understand that your priorities will shift, and your financial strategy should be adaptable to those changes. Chapter 15. Nothing new. Despite all the technological advancements and market complexities, the fundamental principles of human behavior and money remain largely the same. Greed, fear, envy, optimism. These emotions have driven financial decisions for centuries. This chapter brings us back to basics, reminding us that understanding timeless human psychology is more valuable than chasing the latest financial fad. Chapter 16. Optimism and Pessimism. Housel argues that true financial success requires a blend of optimism and pessimism. Optimism to believe in the long-term growth of the economy and the power of human ingenuity, and pessimism to understand that things will go wrong in the short term. The ability to hold these two seemingly contradictory views in balance is crucial for navigating the ups and downs of the financial world. Chapter 17. When you'll believe anything. We are all susceptible to narratives, especially when things are going well or terribly wrong. When markets are soaring, we look for reasons to believe the good times will last forever. When they crash, we seek explanations for the catastrophe. This chapter highlights our tendency to rationalize and to build narratives around financial events, often overlooking the role of randomness and complexity. Be wary of overly neat explanations, especially when they confirm your existing biases. Chapter 18. All Together. Now, this powerful concluding chapter synthesizes the key themes. It emphasizes that financial success isn't about being the smartest or the most aggressive. It's about consistent, reasonable behavior over a long period. It's about understanding the role of luck, the power of compounding, the importance of saving, and the pursuit of financial freedom. It's about building a robust system that accounts for human fallibility and the inherent uncertainty of life. Conclusion. The Psychology of Money isn't just a book about money, it's a book about human nature. It elegantly unpacks why we behave the way we do around money, revealing the biases, emotions, and experiences that shape our financial destinies. It teaches us that financial success isn't about complex formulas or market timing, but about mastering ourselves. If you're looking to build a better relationship with your money, to understand not just what to do but why you do it, then this book is an absolute must-read. It's a profound and practical guide that will equip you with the mental tools to navigate the unpredictable world of finance with greater wisdom, humility, and ultimately, greater peace. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the psychology of money. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the Book MBA channel for more insightful summaries, and let us know in the comments what financial book you'd like us to explore next. Until then, keep learning and keep growing.